Kane Vision welcomes in Kyle Cousin, the women's soccer coach at the University of Tulsa. And boy, what a heartbreaker at the end of the year for you. You had 2 home matches with a chance to get into the top 6 and get into the playoffs, and just tough games that you weren't able to pull out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think we talked a couple weeks ago just about the parity in our league, and there was a chance that we could finish as high as 3rd in the conference, and that's what we were shooting for. And unfortunately dropped out of the conference tournament, and so went from 3rd to 7th. And so, but you know, it was. I thought the girls played really well, especially our last game against South Florida. Gave up 2 early goals, unfortunately, but then came back and fought our way back. And when the game's 3-2 with about 10 minutes left, I really thought we had the momentum and had a good opportunity to tie it up and possibly win that game. And knowing now what we hoped to know then, but you know, if we'd even tied that game, that would have put us in the conference championship. So, you know, a bit disappointing. Of course, we had high expectations for this year and this team, and thought we were going to do a little bit more. But was really proud of the effort, especially in the last game that we showed, and it is encouraging for our future.
Yeah, and certainly a lot of positives that you can look back on in terms of how the young ladies fought and battled and that sort of thing. What were the things that come to mind first as to the pluses this fall?
Yeah, you know, the core of our midfield, and you know, it seems like taken over 9 years ago now, but we've always kind of struggled in the scoring department, and I think we scored the most goals that we've scored in the last 9 years this year, and so we are very proud of that, and something that we really had worked on, and so the goal production is there, and the goal production is returning with the kids that we have returning, but we have to do a better job of kind of melding it all together. Those first couple years, you know, we did a lot in the shutout department, and so even up to as recent as I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we set the shutout record with some of these same players that were playing in the back for us. And so got to get back to that mentality of shutting people out, and I think keep the goal production where it's at, and we're going to have a great year going forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there was something that was disconcerting to you, is that you gave up too many goals, or gave up more than you historically in the past had given up. And if you increase your scoring and keep the goals down, you'd have a more successful season, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something that you know, it's that elephant in the room that you know, you're a little worried to talk to your team about, just because you don't want them to think about only playing defense and only getting shutouts. But we did address it, and just unfortunately we couldn't put our thumb on it. But I thought, you know, we did a better job in the last 2 games, even though we gave up some goals. I thought defensively we were stronger. We made those teams work a lot harder to get their goals, and so you know, we hopefully can improve on that and keep moving forward.
And of course, the final game of the year in the regular season ended up being the final game for a bunch of seniors, or a few seniors, that you certainly appreciate what they've done for the program, right?
Absolutely. We had 6 seniors this year. You know, Olivia Veragutz, who we've talked about before, unfortunately tore her ACL in the Texas A&M game, I think the 5th game of the season. And so, but she was a senior captain and kind of an emotional leader for us, and really did a great job off the field, even after her injury, of having that leadership capability, and just really helped us with our team. Lana Bermel was another one that unfortunately she got hurt in the Central Florida game, and so we had to play without her against South Florida. And she's a 4-year starter for us, and from day one has made an immediate impact with that defensive center midfield role, and just did a great job for us. And a lot of people don't know, but she was playing basically without cartilage in one of her knees, and so it was bone on bone all year long, and finally her knee just gave out. And so just the effort and the intensity that she played with, even through that pain, just says a lot about her character, and someone that we will definitely sorely miss because of that. And then you had Darian and Sierra, who have been mainstays in our center back. We play with 4 backs, and those 2 from day one stepping on campus have been in the center back for us, and so have done a great job for us in the back. And they were part of 2 different records. You know, I think we set the shutout record 4 years ago, and then came back and reset it again. And they were part of that group in the back. And so, you know, when you lose 2 solid players like that, that's going to be hard to replace. But I feel like we do have some good kids that are waiting in the wings and waiting for their opportunity. And so just appreciate everything they've done the last 4 years. Claire Maris, our left back. So we started 3 seniors in the back this year, and Claire, another one that unfortunately was injured in our very last game of the season against South Florida, and hurt her knee. And so we're hoping that it's not as serious as it could be. But you know, once again she started from day one, and so those 3 have been kind of the backbone of our team, and so and people that we've relied on and counted on, and knew you could trust back there. And so those 3 guys will be sorely missed. And then Annie Summer. Annie played up front for us, was a left-footed forward, and kind of a go-at-you player, and someone that, you know, the thing I'll say about Annie too is that she never took a day off. You got her best day in, day out at practice, and you know, when she was called on in games. And so she made us better because of the intensity in which she worked on the practice field as well as the game field. And so that class, you know, we kind of had our resurgence going when that class stepped on campus, but they have really solidified what we've wanted to do here, and the character in which they play is something that I hope will be passed on through our team and our program, because they've been a great example of what not only a player should look like within our program, but a teammate and a leader. And so I was really proud of that group.
And of course, now you have to move on and you get ready. You'll have spring ball coming up. What do you urge the young ladies to do, kind of in the off season, if you will, getting ready for spring?
Yeah, we've already started talking and having meetings about that. We'll do some individual meetings coming up. We've already met as a team. We're going to try to get together over the next couple weeks, just to get together to play once or twice a week, just as a stress reliever more than anything. But then we'll hit it hard once they get back from Christmas break. And you know, we do have a great core coming back. You know, Rachel Thun was co-player, midfielder of the year in our conference, and scored 12 goals for us this year, and did a great job. And so we have her returning, which will be her senior year. Tana Dake was second team all-conference. Rachel was first team all-conference. And then Anna Williams was on the rookie team. And so we do have a strong core coming back. You know, like I mentioned, we started 3 out of the 4 backs were seniors this year, so we'll be looking to solidify our back line. But as I mentioned before too, we have kids that have been waiting their turn, and you know, I'm real excited for players like Anna Martin, who you'll be hearing her name a lot going forward, and she's been just steady Eddie back there for us, and hasn't got to play a whole lot because she's been behind Darian and Sierra. But this spring will be kind of her coming out party, and you know, we're looking for her to really keep us going forward and start working to get those shutouts back. You know, we do start our juniors in the back of Amanda Creason played on the outside, Daniel Hoover, who's a sophomore, played on the outside. So those guys, you know, we're going to be counting on to be consistent in the back as well. And then our goalkeepers will both be seniors, and so and thought they did a good job this year. You know, it's been difficult because that's probably the hardest position that we had to decide on every year, because they're so close in talent. They're such good friends. They're such competitors. And you know, we've Becca Diefer played great for us, and then Courtney McKeon also. You know, Courtney was our starter for basically 2 years, and Rebecca came in off and on, and then it kind of flip-flopped this year. You know, Becca had more of the starts this year, and just thought that they did a really good job of competing, and we're looking for those guys to give us a boost in confidence from the back going forward. And so I think you'll see us scoring a lot more goals next year. I think you if you're basing it on basketball, I feel like we've gone from half court to run and gun a little bit, and but we're also going to try to put together a strong defense going forward so that we can get those shutouts back and hopefully get that shutout record back on the right track and get it hopefully next year.
Coach, sounds like a great plan. We'll look forward to seeing your team in the spring.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Bruce.
Kyle Cousin, University of Tulsa Women's Soccer.